1:15.
All right. Those who wish me dead can go fuck themselves.
I can begin if you'd like. Right. Hello there, guys. How's it going? Welcome to Breakfast All Day. I'm Christy. That is Matt. That is Alonso. Next up for us is Those Who Wish Me Dead. And Alonso will describe it.
Yes. So this is co-written and directed by Taylor Sheridan, who we just did his, was it Without Remorse, right? He co-wrote that one, but he's mainly known for Sicario and Hell or High Water and Wind
River, which
the one that I don't like
and got shit for from our fans.
Well, too bad. I still hate Wind River, so
Anyway. I don't hate Wind River.
So this one is very much in his wheelhouse of man versus man and man versus nature. Angelina Jolie plays a firefighter in Montana. She is currently working sort of tower observation duty because she is haunted by a recent conflagration that cost the lives of several innocent people. She is the person who happens to be around when a fleeing father and son who are on the run from two really terrible, evil, awful Florida hitmen come to town. The dad is killed. The son runs into the woods, and she has to keep him alive and get him to the authorities. The authorities in this case being the local sheriff, played by John Bernthal, and his pregnant wife, who are both keen survivalists. But again, these hitmen are really, really dangerous to the extent that they're willing to set the whole forest on fire if it's a way to cover their tracks. They are played by Aidan, Gillen, and Nicholas Hoult. And yeah, this is like just this is a classic Matt Atchity. It does what it says on the box. I
disagree.
Really? Okay.
Because the title is terrible.
Title is kind of shitty. It's
right.
based on a novel the same name by Michael Corita, who's also credited as a co-writer here. But it's, it's effective, and it's like it's pretty lean and mean. Angelina Jolie, as I said in my review on TheWrap, never doesn't look like a movie star, but I still bought her as like a firefighter. There's some weird choices, like you meet all these firefighters at the beginning of the movie and then they are nowhere to be found when the actual fire starts. Like they don't show up until late in the game. It's like, where were you guys? We met dozens of you in the prologue.
It's a big forest.
It's a big
giant forest.
Fair enough. But yeah, and the kid is played by Finn Little, and he spends most of the movie being traumatized, and he's pretty good at it. And I was really impressed with Medina Senghor, I don't think I've ever seen before, playing Allison, the pregnant wife of the sheriff. She is a badass, and she is really forceful in this film and is in no way like the pregnant lady victim. Like she's on her, she knows what she's doing.
Does it not do what it says in the box, Matt?
No, I'm just saying the box is mislabeled.
Yeah.
Right. It's like
there's a box.
It's like,
but the product has a terrible name.
Right. It's like these are Cocoa Pebbles, not Fruit Loops. They're both great, but yeah.
It is
but
sort
just
of
the title
like,
is, the title is you almost expect a story that's like Shakespearean or something. Like it's such a such a heavy title for this movie that.
It's kind of ham-fisted poetry. Yeah. If you work past the title.
Right.
There's a lot to like.
Yeah, this is the best movie about people fighting forest fires since always. I think.
Oh, disagree. I like that one with Josh Brolin a couple of years ago that nobody saw that was really great. Remember that one?
Okay. See, I was afraid you were going to mention Firestorm with Howie Long.
No, I was not. The one that
anyway.
I'll look it up. You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, this works. Like it's following a few different threads. I will say Aidan Gillen and Nicholas Hoult almost steal the movie. They're terrific in this, and they are these highly competent hitmen that are kind of all business, and they have the business-like discussions that you would expect.
Cool customers.
Right. They're cool customers, but it's kind of like the way they're talking about work is just so casual and so knowledgeable that I found it really intriguing. And it made me think of the conversations that happened with Brad Pitt and I can't remember the guy's name in Killing Them Softly. the conversations about like, oh, you know, the firm's cheapening out and they want to do this, right?
Was it? It's not Joel Edgerton. Who's in that movie? I forget. Only the Brave, by the way, is the firefighter movie that I really like.
Got it. No, so these guys having their discussions about the minutia of their work was fascinating.
And their boss.
Right.
Yeah.
Great casting.
Can we say?
Yes. Yeah. It's not a spoiler. Fucking Tyler Perry. I love when Tyler Perry shows up for like 2 scenes in somebody else's movie, and it's like, oh my god, you're so good at this.
I love when Tyler Perry acts in somebody else's movie, right? And also when he's not trying to be funny, because he's big. He's a big guy, and he has that resonant voice. And when he uses
he can be imposing.
It's really interesting. Yeah. I wish there were more of him than just that one.
And he's also got that same attitude that the killers do, and that like this is a business that they're very good at, and there's a almost like a terseness to the way that they talk.
This is crime as like an accounting firm. Like there's nobody's twitchy or, you know, like anger. It's just like, it's all very like, well, we have to fire 500 people and that's just how it is. Like there's that emotionless about everything, but it's about fucking murder, you know?
Yeah. I like that. I thought that the guy playing the dad was good. I think all the acting's pretty solid in this. You know, the plot goes in a couple different directions that were maybe a little, it feels like it comes to a head in the story a little bit faster than I expected. And not that I wanted the movie to be longer, but it just felt like there's some scenes missing here. Like this all kind of like it unexpectedly comes to a close. But that being said, like the fire is suitably terrifying, and you do feel like, I mean, you really do feel like the fear, and if not the heat, like you see how menacing that fire is going to get. I like
the
this.
hitmen or the fire would have been enough for any movie, and having both of them, it's just like,
Well, that's one of my problems with it, actually. Now that you mentioned that, is that I don't think you need the hitmen and the fire. I think the hitmen enough, as you point out so well, are so good at their job and they have so much firepower and so many tricks up their sleeves to get at these people that like also having the fire there just feels kind of superfluous. And also the effects aren't all that great. The actual fire, the big, you know, giant forest fire effects.
On my shitty TV, they looked fine, but I don't know.
I just felt like, oh, right. And there's also a fire in the distance, you know, but what is more interesting than that is the lightning storms. Right. There's a whole scene where they have to like ditch lightning by running across a field, and they're
serpentine.
At one point, she's in this tower. She's been assigned to go and do the fire watch from the tower, and like the strikes are coming, and there's like a built-in tension with that. And so adding the fire that these guys set with the flares on top of all that just felt superfluous. But other than that, this is pretty lean and mean. It feels very 90s. It feels like something like Clint Eastwood would have done in the 90s, right?
Where Sheen.
Right. But he has to be like curmudgeonly, but then like a kid comes along and softens him. It's also an incredibly annoying coincidence that the kid who shows up in need of her help is the exact same age as the kids who perished early in the film, which is like what leads to her guilt and her self-destruction.
This is that type of action movie that you could plop a bunch of different action stars in,
sure,
right?
Yeah. Male or
Bruce
female.
Willis in this. Like mid-90s, this is absolutely a Bruce Willis movie.
But I also never forgot I was watching Angelina Jolie, because whatever harrowing situation she's in, whatever fall she's taken, whatever injury she suffered, like her makeup still looks amazing. Like she might be all bloody and smudgy, but her eyeshadow like still looks really great. So
the lip liner is not.
It was distracting. It was distracting.
Look, you watch enough TCM and you just sort of assume that's what happens. You know, women wake up with a full face of makeup on, and you just don't question it. You know,
in a movie like By the Sea, I expect Angelina to wake up with a face full of makeup, but not when there's like no running water and you're stuck in the tower for days. Anyway, that's just
this was. I did find her wig a little distracting.
Oh,
I mean, it just felt like that's a wig, and I kept expecting like that's a wig. That wig's gonna fall off. It's a wig. It's a wig. It's a wig, and it kept making me think of Halle Berry's wig in The Call.
Dat wig.
Well, that's a legendary wig.
That's the gold standard for Dat wig.
Sequel, right? Like this is The wig in the woods.
Yes, the kid is really good in it, though. I agree, because he has a couple of moments of like serious emotion, and it felt very organic to me and not cutesy. Or I thought he was good too.
Yeah, the kid and the killers are all from the British Isles, and
yeah,
you would never know it.
Anyway, I'm saying 6.5. It's like kind of solid and unremarkable. It's fine.
I said 7.2. Like, there are movies periodically would say like, oh, you should take your mom to this. You should take your dad to this.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a Father's Day watch, right? Yeah. This is the similar to Greyhound, right?
Oh yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like this 7.
Okay. Our number's a 6.9.
Well, nice.
Say
okay, fine. Thanks for watching, you guys. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us at BeFast All Day on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and check out our Patreon at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. We're recapping The Handmaid's Tale. We'll soon be talking about The Underground Railroad from Amazon. We've got our May Off the Menu coming up, and lots of other great exclusive stuff that only our subscribers get to watch. So patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.